Before you make your morning coffee today, before you open that cabinet and reach for what you do every single day without thinking, there is something a kidney specialist needs to tell you. What if the substance sitting on your kitchen counter right now, the one you have been adding to your food since childhood, is quietly destroying your kidneys one small dose at a time? What if the damage is already happening and you have absolutely no idea because your kidneys will not send you a pain signal until more than half of them have stopped working? Stay with me for the next few minutes because what I am about to share with you has changed how hundreds of my patients eat, and it may change your life too. I'm Dr. Christian O'Brien, board-certified in internal medicine with a clinical focus on metabolic and kidney health. For 15 years, I have watched patients walk into my office feeling fine, get their labs back, and learn their kidneys are already failing. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I am about to share with you has changed how hundreds of my patients eat, and it may change your life too. I'm Dr. Christian O'Brien, board-certified in internal medicine with a clinical focus on metabolic and kidney health. For 15 years, I have watched patients walk into my office feeling fine, get their labs back, and learn their kidneys are already failing. That pattern, repeated over and over again, is exactly why I made this video. The patients I see most often in my practice are not reckless people. They are careful, health-conscious adults, people like you, who read labels, watch their weight, maybe even take a handful of supplements every morning. They are doing almost everything right, and yet their kidneys are being ground down by something hiding in plain sight, something so common and so woven into daily life that nobody thinks to question it. I see men in their 50s who have been working out for decades, women in their 60s who cook real food at home, retired teachers and grandparents who walk every day and still take their blood pressure medications. They come to me baffled. They thought they were being careful, and in many ways they were. But this one thing, this particular substance they consume every single day without guilt, has been accumulating damage inside their kidneys for years. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or a family history of kidney disease, I need you to pay especially close attention to what I am about to tell you. But even if you have none of those risk factors, you need to hear this. Because the substance I am talking about does not discriminate. What I am talking about is fructose, specifically the highly concentrated fructose in processed foods and in a sweetener called high fructose corn syrup. Not fruit. Not the fructose you get from eating an apple or a handful of blueberries. I want to be precise about that because the distinction matters enormously, and the food industry has spent a lot of money making sure it stays blurry. The fructose I am warning you about is the processed, concentrated, cheap industrial fructose that has been pumped into virtually every packaged food and beverage on grocery store shelves since the 1970s. It is in your salad dressing. It is in your bread. It is in your breakfast cereal, your ketchup, your granola bars, your flavored yogurt, your iced tea, your sports drinks, and most definitely your sodas. And it is metabolized by your body in a way that is fundamentally different from any other sugar, in a way that is uniquely destructive to your kidneys, your blood vessels, and your liver. Now, I want to make sure you keep watching, because in about 3 minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 foods that contain the highest concentrations of this compound that most people over 50 are eating multiple times per week without realizing it. One of them is probably in your refrigerator right now and is widely marketed as a health food. Here is what makes fructose different from regular glucose. When you eat glucose, your entire body helps process it. Your muscles take it in, your liver handles part of it, your cells burn it for fuel. The load is spread out. Fructose does not work that way. Fructose goes almost entirely to your liver, and only your liver. Think of it like a delivery truck that is supposed to drop packages all across town, but instead drives everything to one single warehouse and dumps it all there at once. Your liver can handle a small amount of fructose. It evolved to handle the small quantities found in whole fruit. But the concentrated industrial fructose in modern processed foods hits your liver in a quantity it was never designed to receive. And what your liver cannot process, it converts to uric acid. This is where your kidneys enter the story. Uric acid is a waste product. Your kidneys are responsible for filtering it out of your blood and sending it out in your urine. But when fructose consumption is high and consistent, your blood fills up with uric acid faster than your kidneys can clear it. The uric acid crystals begin to accumulate in the tiny filtering tubes inside your kidneys, which are called the nephrons. Picture your kidneys as incredibly intricate water filtration systems, thousands and thousands of microscopic tubes doing the work of cleaning your blood. Now imagine pouring sand into those tubes every single day. Not enough to clog them overnight, just a little, day after day, year after year. That is what elevated uric acid from processed fructose does to your kidney tissue. A landmark study from Johns Hopkins followed over 4,000 adults for a period of 8 years and found that people with persistently elevated uric acid levels had a 64% higher risk of developing chronic kidney disease compared to those with normal levels. 64%. That is not a small signal. That is a clear, consistent pattern that I see repeated in my own clinic. And here is the part that should make you stop and think. Gout, the painful joint condition caused by uric acid crystals, is actually the visible warning sign your body sends when uric acid has been high for a long time. But your kidneys can be accumulating that same uric acid damage for years before you ever have a single gout attack. Most people never get gout, they just get kidney failure. By the time their creatinine levels rise and I can see the kidney damage on a blood test, the nephron loss has often been ongoing for a decade. If you are finding this valuable, please consider subscribing to this channel. I make these videos because this is the information that can protect the people you love. Now I want to go deeper, because fructose does not just attack your kidneys through uric acid. There is a second mechanism, and in some ways it is even more insidious. When high fructose corn syrup and processed fructose flood the liver does something predictable. It converts that excess fructose into fat. Not all of it becomes uric acid. A significant portion becomes triglycerides, fat molecules that pour into your bloodstream. Those elevated triglycerides are a direct trigger for insulin resistance, and here is where the story becomes a crisis for anyone over 50. As you age, your cells naturally become somewhat less sensitive to insulin. That is a normal part of aging. But when you pile concentrated fructose consumption on top of that age-related insulin resistance, the effect is multiplied. Your pancreas pumps out more and more insulin trying to compensate. Your blood sugar creeps upward. And elevated blood sugar is one of the two most powerful forces destroying kidney tissue in the world. The other one, by the way, is high blood pressure, which is also worsened by high fructose consumption because of what it does to your sodium retention systems. Those two forces, blood sugar and blood pressure, together account for roughly 70% of all kidney failure cases in the United States. And at the root of both of them, in a staggering proportion of cases, sits this one substance. A systematic review published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology analyzed data from over 45,000 patients across 11 separate studies and concluded that high dietary fructose intake was independently associated with an increased risk of kidney disease progression, even after controlling for diabetes, obesity, and hypertension. Independently associated, that means even before someone becomes diabetic, even before their blood pressure becomes a clinical problem, the fructose itself is doing kidney damage through its own direct biochemical mechanisms. This is the thing that most doctors do not have time to explain in a 12-minute office visit. It is not just that fructose causes obesity, which causes diabetes, which eventually causes kidney disease. Fructose has a more direct, more immediate relationship with your kidneys than that chain of events suggests. And that matters because it means the damage can be occurring right now, even in people who are not overweight, even in people with normal blood sugar, even in people who would describe themselves as healthy, which is most of my patients when they first walk through my door. Before I give you the specific foods to eliminate and the protocol I use with my own patients, I want to tell you about a man I will call Thomas. He was 63 years old when I first met him, retired engineer, non-smoker, not diabetic, blood pressure slightly elevated but managed with a low-dose medication. His wife had brought him in for a general checkup because he had been more tired than usual. Thomas was proud of the fact that he had never had a serious illness. He walked 2 miles every morning, avoided fried food, and thought he ate pretty well. He did not drink soda. He told me that right away. No soda. I always ask about soda. His GFR, which is the measurement we use to determine how well the kidneys are filtering, came back at 61. That is the bottom edge of stage 2 chronic kidney disease. At his age, with no diagnosed diabetes, that was unexpected. When I sat down and went through his diet with a registered dietitian, we found the culprit quickly. Thomas drank 2 glasses of commercial orange juice every morning. He ate commercially prepared whole grain bread, which contained high fructose corn syrup. He used a national brand barbecue sauce on chicken 3 nights a week. He ate flavored Greek yogurt daily because he thought it was health food. And he used bottled salad dressings. None of these were soda. None of them felt dangerous to him. Together, they were delivering somewhere between 40 and 55 grams of processed fructose into his system every single day. We removed every one of those items from his diet and replaced them with whole food alternatives. No calorie restriction. No medication change. Just fructose elimination. His GFR at his 6-month follow-up was 74. His uric acid had dropped from 7.8 to 5.2. His blood pressure medication was reduced. Thomas told me that was the first time in 4 years he had woken up without feeling foggy. Thomas's story is not a miracle. It is basic biochemistry with the fructose tap turned off. Now let me give you the 5 specific sources of processed fructose that I see causing the most damage in patients over 50. I am going to go from concerning to most dangerous, and I want you to listen all the way to the end because the last one is the one that surprises people the most. Number 5 is commercial salad dressings. This one catches people off guard because salad feels healthy, and it is, but the dressing is not. A typical 2-tablespoon serving of a store-bought honey mustard or raspberry vinaigrette contains between 8 and 14 grams of high fructose corn syrup. If you use dressing twice a day, which many health-conscious eaters do, that is more processed fructose than is in a small can of soda. The fix is simple. Use olive oil and lemon juice, add a little mustard and apple cider vinegar if you want complexity, make it yourself, and it takes 90 seconds. Number 4 is commercial fruit juice. I am sorry, I know this one is painful, but a glass of orange juice, apple juice, or any bottled fruit juice contains roughly the same concentration of fructose as a soda, and it delivers that fructose even faster because the natural fiber has been removed. Fiber is the mechanism that slows fructose absorption in whole fruit. Without fiber, fructose hits your liver almost as fast as drinking corn syrup. A whole orange contains about 5 grams of fructose. A glass of orange juice contains roughly 25 grams. The fruit was not the problem. The juicing was. Switch to eating the whole fruit, and the fiber does the job your kidneys thank you for. Number 3 is bread and crackers. Almost all commercially produced bread in America, including the ones labeled whole grain, multigrain, and hearty, contains high fructose corn syrup as a preservative and flavor enhancer. This is not true in Canada or Europe to the same extent, but American food labeling makes this easy to miss if you are not reading the ingredients list carefully. Check the ingredients on your bread. If high fructose corn syrup appears anywhere in the first 5 ingredients, put it back. There are brands without it. Sourdough made with just flour, water, and salt contains none. This one simple swap, done consistently, can reduce your daily fructose exposure by 15 to 20 grams. Number 2 is flavored yogurt. Yogurt has been brilliantly marketed as a health food, and in its plain whole milk or plain Greek form, it genuinely is. But flavored yogurt, fruit on the bottom yogurt, yogurt with granola and drizzle and honey, almost all of it is loaded with high fructose corn syrup or concentrated fruit syrups that behave identically in your body. A single container of commercial strawberry Greek yogurt can contain 24 grams of sugar, much of it fructose-based. Buy plain Greek yogurt and add your own fresh fruit. Your kidneys will know the difference. And number one, the one that I warn my patients about most urgently, is sports drinks and so-called enhanced water. This category has become uniquely dangerous because of who consumes it. Adults over 50 who are health conscious, who are exercising, who believe they are doing something good for their bodies when they reach for an electrolyte drink after a walk. These beverages are marketed with the vocabulary of health, athletes, energy, hydration, recovery. Their ingredient lists tell a different story. Most commercial sports drinks contain high fructose corn syrup or sucrose in ratios that deliver a concentrated fructose hit to your kidneys in a liquid form that absorbs faster than any food. And because the consumer believes they are being healthy, they often drink multiple bottles in a single day. There are electrolyte products without fructose. They exist. Coconut water contains natural electrolytes and naturally occurring fructose in amounts your kidneys handle easily. Plain water with a pinch of sea salt after a workout does more for your recovery than any commercial sports drink. Now I want to give you the practical protocol. These are the exact steps I walk my patients through in my practice, and I want to be clear that I am offering this as educational information, not as a substitute for working with your own physician. If you have kidney disease, diabetes, or any chronic health condition, bring these ideas to your doctor and ask them to review your specific situation with you. The first step is a 2-week elimination. Remove all 5 categories I just described completely. Every commercial salad dressing, all fruit juice, all commercial bread containing high fructose corn syrup, all flavored yogurt, all sports drinks. Do not try to moderate them. Eliminate them for 14 days. This is long enough to begin seeing measurable changes in uric acid levels and to feel the difference in your energy and mental clarity. The second step is to replace, not restrict. Do not go hungry. Do not cut calories. Replace. Whole fruit instead of juice, olive oil and acid instead of bottled dressing, sourdough or ingredient-checked bread instead of commercial bread, plain yogurt with real fruit instead of flavored, water, green tea, or coconut water instead of sports drinks. Every replacement is a step your kidneys feel. The third step is hydration. Your kidneys need water to flush uric acid. Not coffee, not tea, not sparkling water with citrus flavoring. Plain water, and more of it than you think. The research from a University of Toronto clinical team showed that adults who increased their plain water intake by just 1.5 liters per day reduced their risk of kidney stone formation by 45% over a 12-month period. Kidney stones are uric acid crystals by another name. Water is your kidney's most basic tool. The fourth step is something I call the label scan. Starting today, every packaged food you pick up in a grocery store, you read the ingredients list before the nutrition facts. You are looking for 4 words: high fructose corn syrup. Not calories, not fat grams, those 4 words. If they appear anywhere on that label, put the product back. It takes about 6 weeks before this becomes automatic. After that, you do it without thinking. There is one more thing I want to tell you. A meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal examined dietary interventions in patients with early chronic kidney disease and found that reducing dietary fructose was associated with a statistically significant slowing of kidney function decline. Not a reversal in all cases, but a meaningful slowing. And in patients whose kidney disease was caught early, which is the stage most of us are in when we first discover there is a problem, the dietary intervention produced results comparable to adding a second blood pressure medication. Comparable. From changing what you eat. Your kidneys are remarkable organs. A healthy adult has more than 2 million nephrons, those tiny filtering units, across both kidneys. You can lose up to 60% of them before your labs show anything abnormal. That is not a fragile system. That is an extraordinarily resilient one. But resilience is not the same as invulnerability. And when you combine age-related decline with years of fructose-driven uric acid accumulation and the blood pressure effects of chronic insulin resistance, you can move through that safety margin faster than any test will catch you doing it. The fact that you watch this video today means you now have something most people your age do not have. You have a clear, specific, actionable target. Not a vague instruction to eat better, not a lecture about willpower. A specific biochemical mechanism, 5 specific sources, and a 4-step protocol you can start today. That is power, real practical power over what happens to your body in the next 5, 10, 20 years. The most important thing I can ask you to do right now, more important than subscribing to this channel, though I hope you will, is to think of one person you love who is over 50 and consuming these products every day without knowing what they are doing to their kidneys. Your spouse, your sibling, a close friend. Share this video with them today, not as a lecture, as a gift, because they may not see this otherwise, and the information you have just heard may be the thing that protects them. If you found value in this, please subscribe so you do not miss the next video. In the next video, I am going to reveal what happens to your kidneys when you combine processed fructose with a specific over-the-counter pain reliever that over 40% of adults over 50 take regularly. That combination is something almost no one talks about, and the research behind it is alarming. I'm Dr. Christian O'Brien, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.